Professor's House states that out of all the marriages in America each year, only 2% of them are resulted from high school relationships. Yet teens all over America continue to date, continue to have multiple failed relationships. As you consider whether you should date or whether you should allow your child to date, you've got to first weigh the risks and think about the benefits that might be gained if they were to wait. Since only 2% of high school relationships last after they graduate, Professor's House states that out of those, only 19% of them will actually make it to college, and only 2% of those will graduate. Brian Palmer also says that out of those who made it through high school, almost half of them would be divorced within 10 years. Another reason not to date is the violence that teens are involved in. Relationship Matters says that 1 in 3 teens will be the victim of abuse each year. Now, 80% of them, of teens as a whole, believe that verbal abuse is a major issue within their age group. Another issue with dating at that age is sex. Gordon Clay says that 88% of teens that pledge abstinence will be having sex before they're married by the end of their dating period. Even though they planned on waiting, even though you may plan on waiting, most likely you won't. Relationship Matters states that a statistic involving 750,000 girls between the age of 15 and 19, they will all be pregnant each year. 1 in 3 girls each year. This increases the amount of single mothers and decreases the chance of the mother actually finishing high school, let alone college. And on top of that, they run the risk of catching an STD. Younger people account for more than half of the STDs each year. So when you date, you deal with multiple failed relationships. Pointless relationships in the end. So why risk throwing away your future, throwing away your college education, and maybe even throwing away your dreams? It's clear that the risks give us reasons not to date. But why should we date? Why should we wait? If we wait, we'll make it further through our education, at least through high school, if not college. Again, Brian Palmer says that if you wait until you're 20 to 24 to get married, your chance of lasting for more than 10 years will increase up to 69%. And if you wait till you're 25, that number will increase to 78. And as far as violence goes, Relationship Matters tells us that if you become a college freshman, your chance of being involved in abuse in your relationship will lessen from 1 in 3 to 1 in 11. And as you get older, those odds will decrease even more. Pam Williams reports on a study that showed that people under the age of 18 can make cognitive decisions maturely because they can weigh the cost and the benefits, but they can't make the heat of the moment decisions, the emotional decisions that are required when involving someone of the opposite sex. This heat of the moment can lead to sex, which can later lead to pregnancies. But by waiting till you're older, even if you fall victim to those heat of the moment circumstances, you will most likely stick through it with them because you are mature enough emotionally. And if you do get pregnant, you're old enough to provide for the family, provide for the child. as well as sexually, you will run less of a risk to catch an STD because you've had less partners. So if every teen would take this and make it a normal occurrence in our world, what would that look like? We would have people with higher degrees of education, less failed relationships, more lasting marriages, a lower divorce rate. Waiting to date will also eliminate abuse, domestic, physical, verbal, as well as the tolerance people have for it. It will also keep you from the emotionally compromising situations by allowing you to abstain from sex for a longer period of time, which will also lower the STD rate, as well as if you do not take part in sex till later, there will be very fewer teenage pregnancies and teenage mothers that are single, as well as women in our world, in America, would have a higher education in the end. All these risks can be avoided just by simply waiting to date. So before dating as a teen, or before allowing your child to date as a teen, remember these risks and think about the benefits. And picture this future for your children and for America. It's a beautiful picture. And I challenge you to make the wise decision to sacrifice dating until you are in a more stable situation in your life. Put your life first, your future first, and your dreams first, and wait to date.